for Tryke Gutierrez.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for having me. Let me just share the live first. Give me a minute. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Game. So I guess first, thank you for having me. I want to be able to support community talks like this because I really value the importance of education and really sharing some of the wisdoms and knowledge and the stories that we have here in Tier 1 Entertainment. So I actually prepared some slides for this talk, which I plan to upload on YouTube. So I'm already asking your permission for that. This is going to be part of my daily vlog and my daily content. Can you please let me share my screen? Then we're good. Are you able to already? Sige, game. Wait. Can you see it? We're good?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Okay. So I guess first, good morning, everyone. I'm Tryke, the co-founder of Tier 1 Entertainment and the co-owner of Blacklist International. So you might not, so for those who don't know me, basically I started out playing video games across De La Salle University in multiple computer cafes. Really played 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., mostly Dota. I used to play a lot of other games too. But I've been a gamer most of my life. And I remember during that time, one of the reasons why I really started entering into esports was because there wasn't really an opportunity or a professional full-time opportunity in gaming and esports back then, right? Like esports wasn't even a term yet. And I felt like I can do something to make the industry move forward. And I just found little ways to be able to do that. So I started out with I started out as a frustrated pro player in Dota. Then eventually I realized that that wasn't really a career that's worth pursuing. Then eventually I went into commentating, becoming a marshal, like volunteering in events and doing all that. So from 2010 to 2012, I was mostly organizing events and commentating on the side. From 2012 to 2016, I became the executive director of Philippine Esports Organization, which aimed to bring esports to the sporting events, the traditional sporting events such as your Southeast Asian Games, the Olympics, and eventually, more of the sporting events out there. So that was kind of like the endeavor that I pursued from 2012 to 2016. But eventually, after all that, I really got tired because starting out or like organizing events from computer cafes to malls to to convention centers, then eventually the MOA Arena, which was the biggest one that I organized, called the Manila Major back in 2016. I realized that it wasn't really in my DNA to organize events because, for one, I am not that organized as a person. Second, I don't really like the risk appetite that's there in events, meaning like whenever you do an event, it's like everything's on the line, your reputation's on the line, a lot of all of the other things are on the line in a way. And I just felt like it wasn't for me. That's why I have so much respect for those who organize events still, for those who really try to really icons, because we've been telling the same story of gaming as a future, esports as a future, and there are a lot of career opportunities out there, diba? But I think the challenge is not a lot of people resonate to that. People resonate to anecdotes, to actual stories, to actual success. And I think that's kind of like the change that Tier 1 brought to the scene, where you see like someone like Kong buying a 9 million worth or a 15 million worth car, or you see someone like a wrecker like being able to provide for his family. You see Dexy, you see Bianca. You have a lot of really established stars being able to in a way present themselves as celebrities in this new world. So I feel like those are some of the best examples that we have in tier one right now. And that really came from the concept of really following the path of the entertainment companies in Korea. So basically, it really all started out with a dream. So back in April 22 of 2017, we announced tier one. Alodia was one of the talents in gaming of that time. And basically, she had around like I forgot how many followers, but multi-million followers already. And she was able to really carve a path of making this a full-time job. So the goal before was just being able to provide an opportunity for gamers to have a full-time job. Kasi before, ang problema sa lahat ng mga streamers, hindi nga nila magawa full-time. And I think it's still present today. But at least today, mas marami na talaga nakakapag full-time na streamers. So I think that was one goal that we wanted. For esports players, we wanted to do that as well. And for shoutcasters. So those were the three pillars that we started with. So basically, shoutcasting, streamer, and yung pro player, because I was a former pro player, but I was more known as a shoutcaster. So those were the three pillars that we kind of like focused on back then. So this was our first office. It's inside High Grounds. I'm not sure if people have been here already, but basically it's based in Tomas Morato. This is where all the dreams started, and eventually yun, itong right was the Tier 1 Entertainment office. We started out with like 8 people working in the company, and then today we have a 1,000 square plus facility in Tomas Morato already. We have an office soon in BGC. We have an office in Malaysia, and hopefully in other parts of the world in the months to come. So we will also have a store, by the way. So for those who are looking to buy some of the Blacklist merch and the Tier 1 merch, we will be opening up a store soon, hopefully next quarter. Looking forward to that. So today, Tier 1 is in the intersection of the creator economy, media properties, and esports. So ano ba yun, di ba? Kasi not a lot of people know, but we really moved from just managing creators or managing talents to eventually producing shows of our own. Because something that we realize is that, you have so much talents, marami silang pwedeng gawin together, and thus, we want to be able to produce more shows this year. So the Gaming House is one of the first ones that we did, which is a reality show, but we're looking to build more of that. So something that's really exciting that's in the works right now is, which is re-reveal ko na ngayon, we're looking to host a sports festival in Tier 1 across all talents. So meaning we will have multiple sports disciplines na i-cover namin. We will create a content around it and basically just showing the chemistry and the camaraderie of everyone in the family, parang ganun. And that's something of an IP that we want to create in May, hopefully, if we can do it now that the alert levels are going down. And then we also have an esports team called Blacklist International. So today, what started out as a 9-people company, we have 120 plus people working in Tier 1. We're present in Japan, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Myanmar. We also have multiple people coming from different established industries such as Inquirer, One Championship, Sports Illustrated, JP Morgan, and a lot of really other established companies are now looking into Tier 1 as a destination company, and that's what we've been wanting. And the reason why this is important for streamers like you is it's because everybody needs support. Everybody needs an infrastructure, right? Like, alam naman natin kung gaano kahirap mag-stream. Kailangan mo mag-setup, kailangan mo mag-create ng overlays, kailangan mong mag-entertain ng viewers habang naglalaro at the same time. And on top of that, you need to be able to sell yourself, coordinate with brands, coordinate with, like payments and all that. So lahat napakadami mong kailangan na yusin. And the reason for that is because that's just how it is. It's a freelance world. Now we want to be able to help so that we have an infrastructure behind to support the talent, so that the talents can just focus on what they do best, which is to entertain people and really play games, diba? Kasi all of those administrative work will eventually take a toll on you, and that will probably like lessen your creativity, your focus, and a lot of other things. So we also have established investors. One of the biggest investors that we have is Bitcraft, who is invested in a lot of gaming companies out there. They're based in LA. Atlas is also an investor based in Singapore, Gobi from Hong Kong, Octava from Singapore, Kayak from Japan, and Warner Music Group. So eventually we want to be able to partner with a lot of music with music type of IPs eventually. So that's something that's very, very exciting. So yun yung gagawin namin this year and next year and the years to come. We also have a very established commercial partners. Most of the biggest gaming brands we've already worked with. Moonton, we're part of the franchise league. We've been working with them commercially. Riot Games, Predator, Razer, PlayStation, and ROG. So in terms of platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Netflix, Spotify, almost all kausap na namin yan. And now we're not just talking to the Philippine counterpart, we're also talking to the regional counterpart, mostly the HQs in Singapore. So in terms of the non-gaming brands, we're probably one of the few who have worked with Adidas, Unilever, and Toyota. So that just goes to show, di ba, na parang gaming isn't just partnered with the endemic brands anymore. Kumbaga nakikipag-work na rin sila sa mga mainstream na mga brands. So also, just to give you a rough number, para lang may idea yung mga tao dito, the gaming market, according to Bitcraft, one of our investors, has a total size of $336 billion already. So this is composed of the gaming software ecosystem, nandiyan yung gaming hardware ecosystem, which is most likely lahat tayo bumibili naman, di ba? And then the game content and IP ecosystem. So we're more into this industry, while all of these are still part of the ecosystem of gaming as a whole. So in terms of tier 1 entertainment, we're really focused, and I feel like we're really good in terms of building communities and brands. One of our biggest successes was Team Payaman back in 2017 nung sinign up namin sila, and now they're super big than ever. And then you have Blacklist International, who we just started in 2020, and then eventually it became so much bigger than we expected. So we've also created and established a structure for talent. So sa lahat ng mga hindi nakakaalam at nagtatanong sa akin araw-araw, paano po ba maging part ng tier 1? And we understand na, of course, you can't be a tier 1 talent from the get-go. And the tier 1 talents are kind of like our brand ambassadors of the company. Sila yung nagre-represent ng brand namin. And there's just 24 among the 1,000 Amplify partners that we have in tier 1. So what we do is we support, communities like you. We support multiple streamers and really let them go through the programs that we've created. So we have the Amplify program, the Ascent program for pro players, and the Ardent for the shoutcasters. So basically right now we're also doing Amplify Academy for free. So just in case you want to do workshops, you want to be supported, you want to have activities, you really meet new people, parang that's something that we've been really doing in tier 1 nowadays. So if you want to do that, try to get into Amplify Academy because it's going to be really helpful for your career. And then once we identify the ones who are, truly top tier, as we call it, we will then eventually promote them into the Prodigy program, which is like a middle layer before tier 1 talents. And then after Prodigy, that's when they become a tier 1 talent. So bakit sobrang hirap na makaangat into a tier 1 talent status? And that a lot of people ask you that. It's because we really want to protect our brand. We want to really protect our values. And for us to be able to build this company in just 5 years, there were a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that were in a way sacrificed for the past 5 years, diba? So we want to also give it to the right people, I mean the brand, and really identify the right people then also who will have a positive impact on the community. I mean, we don't really think naman people or influencers as people who are perfect. Sometimes that's the pitfall, di ba? Akala ng mga tao lahat ng influencers perfect. Of course not. Like, we're people, they make mistakes, they have problems too. But at the same time, kumbaga, at least people who have positive impacts in the community in different ways. So that's what we're trying to look for. Kumbaga yung mga game changers talaga. On the side for Blacklist International naman, it's all about winning. The reason why we kind of like differentiated the two is because mahirap eh. If you're an esports team trying to get, hype, clout, and all that, how will you win? If you're trying to win, then how will you get, do all the deliverables and all that? So we kind of like separated this, but it all still falls under one company and what we call the one fam, diba? So for the 0 to 1 in terms of presentation, this is how we present it. We have a series called 0 to 1, which was started by our marketing team. We're trying to really share their 0 to 1 stories, being able to share anecdotes about them, kung paano sila, ano sila, bakit sila iba sa isa't isa, and basically presenting them as celebrities of this generation. Yun yung parang goal namin dyan for 0 to 1. Today, we have a combined following of 120 million, 10.9 million on Instagram, 22.8 million on YouTube. These are some of the other numbers that we have. 830 na yung talents namin before. Ngayon, actually, 1,000 plus na yung talents ng Tier 1 across Asia. Tapos, the gaming house is also one endeavor that we did last year. We're very, very proud of that. I know that it's just a start, but hopefully this year we can make it bigger. So the gaming house was a reality show that we created for us to be able to show our process. Paano nga ba kami nag-identify ng talents? Paano nga ba nag-train and all that? And basically out of the 100 plus yata na nag-audition, we found 25 and eventually 10. And then the winner was Sarah. Out of the top 4 who were Pabi, Danica, and the Hypex. So yun yung mga kumbaga came out of the top dun sa reality show namin that aired in ABS-CBN. So in terms of Blacklist, which we're very proud about, I know that this is not directly related to streaming, Pero kasi this brings the prestige and the glory to the company at the same time, the Philippines also and the other countries that it's involved in. So for instance, Free Fire is based in Malaysia. We have a CODM team. PUBG Mobile, we just released the team recently, but eventually we want to be there and back. The Mobile Legends team, we're very proud of them, of course, despite our season 9 performance, but that's by design naman. But basically, we're really, really proud of our Blacklist International teams. So in 2021, that's probably one of the biggest wins for us in terms of building the winning culture in Blacklist International. We won season 7. We won the World Championships in COD. We won season 8 of MLBB, the Free Fire Malaysia Cambodia Philippine Championship dun sa Malaysian-based team namin na Free Fire, and of course the M3 Championship last year. So I know that a lot of esports teams have usually different types of metrics in terms of popularity because we have our own social media machineries. Di ba, meron kami kanya-kanyang social media machinery. Pero to me, the true measure of the popularity of an esports team is really yung watch hours, di ba? Kasi ito yung nandito nanonood yung mga tao ng games ng team. And I think regardless if you're a fan of the team or not, when your games are watched, I think that's the true measure of your popularity, right? So we're very, very proud na Blacklist was part of the top 10 teams in 2021. And for a team coming from the Philippines, coming from Asia, to be part of this, you know, a very prestigious group, we're very, very proud of that. So hopefully we can do more for Blacklist and of course, eventually find a shroud, you know, in the Philippine space. Malay mo, I mean, it's not impossible that we can build or, you know, develop a shroud of Asia in a way, or a Pokemon of Asia. So in terms of like most engaged esports pages, we're also part of that. We were #1 in Facebook. I'm not going to go into that too much. But basically, as we expand Tier 1 Entertainment into the multiple countries that we want to be in, we want to be in Myanmar, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, and eventually Japan. So just for the record, I speak fluent Japanese, so that's the reason why we want to get into Japan. And I think it's really the melting pot of the anime and geek culture and the gaming culture, diba? So we want to be at the heart of it. And yeah, I mean, that's the plans for Tier 1 Entertainment. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. I'm open to questions now. And yun, nothing is really impossible. But at the same time, a dream is just a dream if you don't really act on it. So make sure na, alam mo yun, you really follow through with your words and your and the plans and everything, kasi everything that I presented, it seemed like easy. It seemed as if like a really happy and enjoyable journey. Pero you know, behind the wins, behind the highlights, maraming iyak, maraming sakripisyo, maraming mga sigawan, maraming mga away na mga nangyari to make things happen. But at the same time, what's really nice about what we've created here is it's a culture that really pushes each other to become better, na walang inggitan, tulungan, and hopefully really make a dent in the gaming industry and the esports industry globally. Yan. So, yun lang naman. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you very much for having me again.
Ayun, pwede ba ako mauna, sir? Kasi may gagawin din kasi ako eh. Ayun, good morning, Sir Tryke. Popsicle here. May isa lang akong katanungan kasi way back 2021, nasa Amplify na po ako. And with the help of Comica Esports, naipasok ako sa Amplify. Then na-recognize ako as a Facebook partner. And dumating kasi ako sa point na yung nilalaro kong server, kung saan ako nag-host, nagka-cast, nag-i-stream, nagkaroon sila ng parang idea to make their own talent company. So nung time na yon, I decided to quit. Parang kailangan kong mag-quit sa Amplify at sa Comica kasi magkakaroon daw ng conflict both sides. So syempre pinangakuan nila ako na ganito ganyan, sabay kami aangat dun sa bago nilang ginagawang ventures. So syempre ako rin naman bilang streamer umasa. So nag-resign ako sa Comica, then eventually nag-message ako sa TL namin sa Amplify na, sir, i-let go ko yung status ko sa Amplify kasi may ventures kaming gagawin. Then unfortunately hindi siya natuloy. Then umalis din ako doon sa server. So ngayon gusto ko sanang itanong, Sir Tryke, if meron pa bang chance if ever na, or parang magiging no-go na ako pag gusto ko ulit na mag-grind para makarating ulit ako ng Amplify.
Sa amin naman like we're always open to second chances, third chances, fourth chances, even fifth chances pa. Actually, that's the reason why we created that program, 'di ba? Because like setting a certain parang expectation of being truly top tier is very very difficult, 'di ba? Pag yun yung pinili mong path, mahirap talaga yun kasi you need to be the best, you need to be alam mo on all the time. But that we also understand that people have different paces in life. People have different starting points. And sometimes, like you start at 40, you start at 50, you start at, I don't know, kung anong point man ng buhay mo. And eventually, doon ka magiging successful. Doon mo mahanap yung turning point mo. So, that's why being able to establish a program where everybody is allowed in a way to make mistakes, learn, and grow before they, go into super parang a complicated path. Kasi pag tier 1 talent talaga iba eh. Like iba yung tingin ng tao, iba yung expectations, iba yung deliverables, iba lahat. So meaning the Amplify program will really help you get there. And now that we with the Amplify Academy na in-introduce namin kasi before tier 1 talent lang eh. Kasi just to share with you, dapat ang tier 1 talaga susuporta lang kami sa 24 na talent. Ganun lang talaga dapat. Pero we realized na ang dami pa lang may gusto. So what we did is we created a program called Amplify so that we can extend it to more. Now it has 1,000, di ba? Ngayon ang na-realize namin, pagpasok sa Amplify, maraming hindi equipped sa iba't ibang mga bagay. May mga hindi sanay masyado sa communication, hindi masyado equipped sa media, sa commercialization, sa maraming mga aspect. Kumbaga, hindi holistic pa yung development nila kasi obviously wala nga kumbaga nag-prepare sa kanila for that. Just like what you encounter, di ba? Na kumbaga yung decision making mo and all that, parang walang nag-guide sa'yo. So, through the academy, hopefully, ma-equip ka pag-angat mo sa Amplify, 'di ba? Para that way, mas equip ka na this time. And I think sasabihin, ba't dati hindi nyo pa ginawa? Of course, resources are always a factor. That requires money, that requires a lot of other things, 'di ba? So, kami, kumbaga, ginagawa lang namin yung best namin para ma-extend yung opportunity. So, the answer to your question is yes. I think start out with the academy first, so that you will be equipped on the right decisions and the right skills. Then eventually, as you go into the Amplify program, which is mostly yun ay nakakatanggap ng mga paid deals, you're then ready to be able to accommodate that. Yun lang naman.
Boss Tryke, sorry, Andy from Red Team Gaming. Paano po mag-register for Amplify Academy? Parang may application process po ba siya?
Yes. Actually, so just check it out in our website or our page yata in Amplify. But basically, kasi to be honest, hindi ko na tinitingnan yung mga parts na yun eh kasi I'm really up there in terms of the org chart, diba? So we have a full department that's just taking care of that. It's called the Talent Operations Department headed by Jaba Aureliana. So si Jaba is actually the person who have created that whole program together with her and together with his team. And I think what I'm really happy about that team is mostly kumuha kami ng people from the academy, meaning former teachers. So teachers talagang kinuha namin who have created an actual program to be able to, hone the next generation of streamers and equip them with the right things. So obviously, tatanungin nyo sa akin, sino ba naman magtuturo dyan? Obviously, hindi naman sila mismo yung magtuturo, but they help create actual modules that will equip you. So I guess on that end, you can ask our page or alam ko, check nyo na lang siguro sa website namin. I think we've prepared some information on the Amplify Academy, but it's ongoing and maraming activities na nagaganap doon. There's also a Facebook group there na actively nila. May mga classes yan eh, ganun yung ginagawa talaga nila, tuloy-tuloy. Yun. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, thank you po.
Feeling ko may nag-message sa akin na dito daw mahanap yun. Ewan ko. Sige, game. Any other questions?
Go ahead, guys. Don't be shy. And you're all streamers and definitely na dapat
Huwag kayong
ready
matakot.
kayo
Ako
for
nga, kanina
those.
pa ako kinakabahan nung nagtanong ako eh.
Huwag kayong kabahan, okay lang yan.
Hindi. I-open nyo. Minsan lang itong opportunity na to. Ako nga ngayon lang gumising na maaga
May mga ibang streamers din na tatanungin yung tanong nyo. Tapos, di ba, kayo na yung in a way nagtanong nun.
Kailan po yung next gaming house?
Yung next gaming house, we're looking at the same dates as last year. Ganon ulit. Yun yung, gusto na namin kasi siyang gawing yearly eh. Parang yun yung PBB/Starstruck/ parang ganun type namin. So we're doing our best to improve that, pero yun yung parang plano doon.
Tryke, good morning po.
Morning.
Jero po, ako si Jero. Ask ko lang po, kamusta po ang moral ng blacklist natin ngayon? Despite na alam natin yung kanilang status ngayon.
Well, ako I think like I've seen a lot of tweets on Twitter about mental health ng mga players and all that. Pero I think kaya nga sila tinawag na professional gamer because they need to have the mental fortitude to be able to, face the wins and the losses. Kasi that's just part of sports, 'di ba? And I think if you think about VYs in terms of their history, if you look at it, 'di ba? They've had their share of losses. They've had their share of losses. 'Di ba natalo nga sila nung finals, natalo sila ng mga multiple times. And ako kasi true believer ako na yun talaga yung magpapalakas sa iyo, yung challenges na yun. And I think for our 3 MVPs na like sila Haji, si Edward at si Oheb, they needed to go through that at least once in their life so that they will value winning more, 'di ba? Kasi pumasok sila early on, halos nanalo. Pero ngayon talaga, alam mo 'yun, rock bottom eh. So I think being able to go through that will really prepare them for anything that's about to come. Sabi ko nga sa kanila, ngayon narinig niyo na lahat ng pwedeng marinig. Natalo na kayo ng pinakapwede, na pinakasagad, and by the time na umangat ulit kayo, mababali niyo ngayon yung feeling nung nasa taas. Kasi iba, it's a really humbling experience for them. And I think as much as this is a short-term loss, I feel like it's a long-term win. Kaya ako, I'm not even bothered.
Ay po, thank you po. Good luck sa next game.
Ang dami na napatunayan ng Blacklist International, sir, di ba? So parang isang simpleng pagkatalo lang, di naman siguro bababa yung ng team. Kasi sunod-sunod back-to-back champion. Tapos bigay din sa iba para okay din. Experience din nila, di ba?
Come on, guys, any question?
Siguro mag-share na rin lang ako ng something. Maraming nagtatanong kung paano daw ba umangat sa streaming. And I think ito yung isa mga parang gusto kong key points. I mean, I'm not an expert streamer pero I've seen it all. I feel like ito yung advice ko sa mga streamers out there. May tatlong type ng streamer sa paningin ko. Una is yung kilala na sa ibang industry or sa existing industry or sa isang community na nag-stream. So yung mga artista, athletes, musicians and all that, 'di ba? Na pumapasok sa eksena at magsi-stream. And I think how we have to look at it as a community is you need to give credit sa ginawa nila prior to their life, right? Whether it's a volleyball player, it's a basketball player, it's a musician, it's an artista, nagtrabaho sila para makarating sila dun sa una nilang pinuntahan at kaya sila nagiging successful pagpasok nila sa streaming kasi may ginawa sila prior that got them those numbers before. So yun yung una, yung kilala ka na, established ka na, tapos pumasok ka sa streaming. Pangalawa is yung sobrang galing mo talaga maglaro. 'Di ba? And I think yung mga sobrang galing talaga maglaro, your pro players, ex-pro players, ibang klase talaga mga type ng game, katulad nila Berg, 'di ba? Katulad ng mga iba pa talaga mga high level na mga skills, sila Shroud, yung mga high level skilled players parang sila Kuku, sila Teams, 'di ba? Like pagka naglaro sila, yung mga kahit yung mga pro players ng ML, syempre susundan talaga sila Kenji, sila Blink. Kasi people watch them for their skills. And on the third point, it's entertainment. You have, your Wreckers of the world, you have your Chooks of the world, yung mga talagang mga entertaining side yung mga pinipili. Kasi para sa akin, what you have to think about in streaming is people's time is important. Whether it's a regular person, kahit na ano pang ginagawa mo sa buhay, importante ang oras mo. Kasi limitado ang oras sa mundo. Hindi mo pwedeng mahiram ang oras. So dahil doon, bilang streamer, ang iniisip mo dapat, paano ko hindi sasayangin yung oras ng nanonood sa akin? Di ba? So, alam mo yun, kung bumibitaw ka ng mga bagay na wala namang value sa kanila, hindi nakakatawa, hindi nakaka-entertain, wala silang matututunan in terms of galing mo, or hindi ka naman talaga kilala na wala ka pa silang affinity sa'yo, then you're not on the right track. Di ba? So, find a way to give value to your viewers. Kung hindi ka magaling, huwag mo ipilit. Give up mo na yun. Maghanap ka ng entertaining part. Kung hindi ka entertaining, magpagaling ka. Di ba? Or di kaya, hindi man, maghanap ka ng ibang ways para maging unique. Kung kumanta ka, magkaroon ka ng mga ibang build sa hero mo. Di ba? Ang daming ways eh. Pero alam mo yun, like, you need to be able to find that unique value proposition. Una yun. Yun yung kumbaga sa positioning mo pa lang. sa sarili mo. Pangalawa, ito lagi ko 'to sinasabi Kami, gaming agency kami. Nandito kami to support, not to drive your car, 'di ba? And sometimes the problem is, akala nila kailangan in spoon feed ng agency lahat ng kailangan mong gawin. Pero bakit hindi namin siya ginagawa? Kasi it's not gonna get easier. Once you get to the top, to the likes of Kong TV, Bianca Yao, Ashley Gosheng Fiao, Alodi Gosheng Fiao, pag nakita mo sila magtrabaho, baka mahiya kayo. Sa totoo lang, pag nakita nyo, akala nyo nag-grind na kayo. Hindi, kasi ilang hours sila nagsistream. May mga branded deals, mag-vlog pa, magti-TikTok, magpo-post. Imagine nyo, look at the top talents, how they are present in multiple platforms. They're present in Instagram, nagso-story, nagti-TikTok, nag-YouTube, nagla-live. And imagine mo, kung yung disiplina mo sa streaming pa lang, hindi mo na magawa, hindi ka na makagising, makapag-stream nung pinangako mo sa viewers mo na mag-stream ka ng 10 a.m., wala ka doon ng 10 a.m., paano pa pagka nasa Instagram ka na, nasa TikTok ka na, or lahat, di ba? Or di ka sabihin mo, bukas talaga mag-stream ako 8 hours, tapos bukas mag-stream ka 2 hours lang, bigla ka inahin ng tropa mo, inaya ka. Kasi parang you need to look at it as, if you want to do this as a full-time job, you need to act like it's a full-time job, di ba? And it's just a simple formula of 10,000 hours. Kung gusto mo magaling sa isang bagay, kailangan may 10,000 hours kang binato doon. Kung wala ka pang binatong 10,000 hours doon, huwag kang magtaka kung wala ka pa narating. Kasi may ibang tao na nagbato ng 10,000 hours doon na kinakainggitan mo lang or baka sinasabi mo lang na sana maging ganun ako without actually putting the work. So real talk lang to sa lahat ng mga tao dyan na laging nagrereklamo sa agency nila, sa kaibigan nila, sa parents nila na hindi sila binigyan ng suporta or sa kaibigan. Lahat Like, dami mo kasi pwedeng ireklamo sa buhay kung gugustuhin mo Pero the reality is, lahat tayo may 24 hours isang araw. So, the question is, what do you do with it?
All right. Love the real talk.
Sir Tryke, may isa din akong ano yung may papayo mo kasi kami araw-araw kami nagpapayo dun sa ibang streamer na unti-unting nawawalan ng moral dahil ayun na nga kaka-start lang nila then napapansin nila na hindi sila nag-gain ng followers, ng viewers. Kasi lagi naming in-explain din sa kanila na we started from the bottom tapos kahit papano nagkakaroon kami ng engagement. Ano yung pwede mong ipayo dun sa mga streamers namin na medyo tumatamlay yung pang-araw-araw na buhay pagdating sa stream?
Well, ako personally tingin ko hindi kasi dapat naka-attach yung moral mo sa viewers mo Dapat hindi dapat ganun Ako sa akin yun yung unang-unang mali. Kasi parang, I understand. People are people. The more people na nanonood, mas 10 out of 10 yung pinapakita mo, di ba? Pero at the same time, ako kasi naniniwala ako na parang pagka itinahi mo yung moral mo doon sa nanonood sa'yo, and then pag bumababa yung viewership, bumababa din yung moral mo. Then what ends up happening is you are influenced instead of you are the influencer. 'Di ba? Kaya nga tinawag na influencer kasi ikaw yung nag-i-influence ng taong sumaya. Ikaw yung nag-i-influence ng taong matuto. Ikaw yung nag-i-influence ng taong maging ganito, ganyan. Kung habang bumababa yung viewers mo, bumababa yung moral mo, di ang nangyayari, ikaw yung nai-influensyahan sa labas. And in the end, hindi ka na rin magandang influensya. So parang ako for me kasi, una, hindi mo dapat i-connect yung confidence mo, moral mo, yung self-esteem mo sa viewership mo. Kasi that's not how the world should be, in my opinion, number one. And then pangalawa, find your core. Bakit mo ba siya ginagawa? Kasi may mga tao akong nagsasabi dati na, alam mo, ba't mo ba yung ginagawa? And they will say, ginagawa ko to para magpasaya ng tao Okay, magpasaya ng tao. Tapos ngayon, dahil bumababa yung viewers mo, hindi ka na masaya. Hindi ka ba nakakapagpasaya ng tao? Hindi ba tao yung 5 nanonood sa'yo? Hindi ba tao yung 16 na nanonood sa'yo? Hindi ba tao yung 13 nanonood sa'yo? Tao pa rin naman yun, di ba? Kasi parang pag i-start mo kasi i-serve yung 30 na yun, then you will then be ready to serve 100, 200, 500, 1,000. Kasi ganun siya for me Like, minsan kasi ang pitfall is, nami-miss out mo kung ano yung meron sa'yo. Di ba? Ang dami lahat naman tayo nag-start sa 1, 2, 3 lang naniniwala Pero kung hindi mo inaalagaan yung konting naniniwala na yun, hindi mas konti yung maniniwala palalo. So actually, ang isipin mo dapat dun, parang sinampal mo yung existing na nanonood. If tinitingnan mo na nalulungkot ka kasi bumababa yung viewers. So paano naman yung mga nanonood? Hindi mo sila in a way vinalue dahil lang nabawasan. Paano naman yung nagsasayang ng oras kasama mo, di ba? So I think just think of it that way. Let's just not waste other people's time. If there are people watching, then give it your best. You don't have to give 10 out of 10 of your energy, but at least a best version of yourself in a way doon sa mga nanonood sa'yo. Kung hindi, magpahinga ka na lang. Di ba? Kung hindi mo kaya bigay yung best mo, ako yun yung parang opinion ko doon.
All right. Sir, just have one question from the comment section. What motivates you to blog and or create content? And like, also, ako additional ka nung from this comment is, what have you seen from other people na motivation naman nila for content creation, live streaming, so that at least makita ng mga, like with the community and also with those aspiring to go into live streaming and content creation, na yun na pala yung motivation, hindi lang nila alam na that's it.
Ako kasi personally, nung nag-start talaga ako, ang nasa isip ko talaga was, ano naman kasi, I had a lot of options in my life. Like I graduated in a good university. Pwede naman ako mag-pursue ng ibang trabaho and all that. Pero I chose to be in esports because parang naniniwala talaga ako sa esports eh. Naniniwala ako sa esports, naniniwala ako sa gaming, and I didn't want everybody to look down on esports and gaming anymore. Pero during that time, parang nakakalunod yung trabaho kailangan mangyari. Pero alam kong pwede siya. I've seen it in Korea. Nakita ko sa Korea na nag-boom siya, nakikita ko sa West na nag-boom siya, and I don't want to be stuck in a situation na wala akong choice. Na parang, ay, hindi, sa ibang bansa kasi ganyan eh. Buti pa sa ibang bansa. Sa ganito kasi ganyan eh, di ba? Para sa akin, kung meron akong kayang gawin para hindi natin kailangan tumingin lang sa iba, bakit hindi? Di ba? Kaya nga sinasabi ko, kaya napakabihira na ang HQ Philippines tapos ang sinaserve Asian market eh. Kasi we all need to think like that, na if we don't push ourselves every day na maging better and become, truly top tier, then we will always just follow. We won't be able to lead. And mas masarap kasi mag-lead in my opinion, kasi pag nahuhuli ka, lagi na napupunta na lang sa'yo in a way yung tira-tira ng mundo. So parang yun yung ayokong mangyari for esports if I can, as much as possible. So that's why I wake up every day in the morning to make sure that the esports industry and the streaming industry and the gaming industry that I wake up in is better than before. Kasi imagine mo dati, ang player, ang sweldo, 5,000 pesos lang, wala pang bootcamp and all. Ang streamer, hindi magawang full-time. Pero tingnan mo naman ngayon, di ba? Like, ibang-iba na. Pero ang nakikita ko kasi dyan, hindi yan forever. Like, we've seen billiards fall. Di ba? Ang billiards, dati umangat, bumagsak. Di ba? Boxing, ang dati-dating hype sa boxing. Ngayon, wala na si Manny. Di ba? Parang hindi na siya masyado nagko-compete. Konti na yung parang nag-aspire maging boxer. So for me, like, I don't want to, like, alisin yung foot ko sa gas. Kasi gusto kong tuloy-tuloy na may maniwala para maging permanente na siya. Hindi lang siya maging hype, hindi siya maging trend, maging, kumbaga, parte siya ng sistema natin, maging industriya siya talaga. So I think that's what's really motivating me to wake up every day, making sure na we have a better gaming industry for Asia, for the Philippines, and globally. Kasi feeling ko kaya talaga natin dito sa Asia, kasi iba yung eksena dito in terms of fandom. Kung napapansin nyo, grabe yung fandom ng Asia eh. You look at, K-pop and all that. Like, grabe yung fandom. Naniniwala talaga ako na one day kayang pumuno ng MOA Arena na tayo lang. Alam mo yun, like, yung streamers lang, yung esports teams lang. Parang ganun. Parang, that's just something that I see. And lastly, ba't ako nag-vlog every day? Kasi I don't want people to kumbaga dictate my narrative. Kasi sa totoo lang, real talk lang. Marami naman talaga akong kumbaga doubters, marami pa rin nag-hate sa tier 1, maraming mga nag-aabang na magkamali kami, di ba? And ako, I don't mind na may ganun. Pero at the same time, I want to share them our perspective too. Kasi syempre, kasi ako naniniwala ako na life is just about perspectives. Walang good and bad for me. It's just perspectives. So there's this perspective A, perspective B, perspective C, D, E, F, G, di ba? So ako gusto ko lang mapakita perspective ko. Para, alam mo yun, if there are other angles that are talked about us, then we can audit. I go to the vlog number, WIP number 142. Ano nga ba sinabi ni Tryke dito sa time na to? Bakit nga ba nangyari to? Bakit nga ba ganito? And then history is technically written in my vlogs, in a way, para in the future na parang we're judged differently, may resibo ako. Ganun.
Thank you, sir. And
Question.
go ahead.
Ayan. Sir Tryke, what's your vision for Tier 1 and for the whole industry, maybe for the next 5, 10 years?
Ako talaga, I really want to become medyo may mga ano kasi, may mga negative kumbaga connotation na rin kasi yung ano yung YG Entertainment. So let's just say Hybe Entertainment, which is yung nag-produce ng BTS, no? So kasi yung BTS kasi if you think about it, 'di ba? Parang dati impossible na Asian boy band maging globally renowned as they are today, 'di ba? And that didn't happen overnight. It was multiple years of planning ng multiple companies as JYP, YG, lahat yan, yung big three, eventually yung big four na, di ba? Apat silang bumubuo nun that created what they call a soft power, meaning an influential machinery para ma-bring out yung culture na meron ng Korea. And I think for me, yun yung gusto kong magawa. Gusto ko makapag-create ng Avengers of gaming and esports. Meaning like meron tayong mga top talents, merong mga teams na handle, and they really make a good impact in the world as Blacklist competes in multiple titles, hopefully top 8 in the world in all titles. And then you have streamers that are actually larger than life who have multiple events, platforms that they share their anecdotes and stories and really bring that positive impact of gaming, kumbaga, as a whole. And that's why we're entering into, getting yung sila likes of Haken, the likes of Knight, kasi we want to be international. So, in the end, I want Tier 1 to be known as the biggest global lifestyle brand in gaming here in Asia. Ganun talaga. Yun yung parang gusto kong ma-build. Marami akong gusto mangyari. Maraming gusto mangyari. Pero mostly talaga, Blacklist, the top streamers, hopefully mag-combine yon, and Tier 1 Entertainment as a brand becomes a global brand, magka-merch and all that. Marami pang ibang mga plan.
Follow up po. Do you feel that you're being pressured? Kasi if I remember correctly, I watched one of your interviews before wherein you said na you are pressured kasi you have no template for the Philippine esports industry. And then all of a sudden, with the boom of Tier 1, parang now everyone is parang patenting yung kanilang format with Tier 1 or your vision for the growth of different organizations.
Ako kasi I always say this to the people in the company na parang with height comes pressure, with speed comes turbulence, 'di ba? Even in real life ganyan eh. Nasa eroplano ka, nasa bundok ka, 'di ba? Parang namimingi ka dahil mataas, 'di ba? And I think in life ganun din. Na parang you need to be able to live with the pressure. Kasi ganun eh, 'di ba? Like kung pinili mo tong buhay na to, ganun talaga. Kung nagtataka ka bakit parang turbulent yung feeling mo, umaandar ka ng 200 miles per hour, huwag kang magtaka, that's just physics. So parang to me, nag-e-exist din yung ganyang physics sa mental side eh. 'Di ba? Kung marami kang responsibilidad, maraming nanonood sa iyo, marami kang ginagawang talagang high impact, be ready for that pressure too. Be ready for that possible turbulence, and the most important thing is really find allies. Kasi not everyone in the world will always approve what you're doing. People will question you, people will doubt you. Pero if you have the right people around you na hindi lang nagsisi ng yes sa'yo lagi, yung i-call out ka din pag alam nilang mali yung ginagawa mo, in the right way, in a private way, then you then improve yourself and build that culture of improvement and in a way proper discourse. Para sa akin, yun naman yung best eh. Kasi wala namang perfect na tao eh. Lahat naman tayo nagkakamali. Kahit anong sabihin ng iba kasi sa labas, as long as yung core mo maayos, and alam mo na mag-improve ka going forward. Yun yung parang para sa akin pinakamasarap na feeling. Yung parang may kasama ka paangat.
Ayun, Sir Tryke, last question sa akin.
Sige lang.
Um,
Sige, I can stay until 12.
Ayun. Kasi may last time kasi sinubukan ko mag-change ng platform. Since magkaiba talaga yung platform ni FBGG compare sa Twitch. So since meron kayong napakalawak na contact sa end naman ng Facebook, meron po bang chance na like para dun sa gifted subs ng Facebook? Meron po bang chance na matulad siya sa Twitch na when someone send gifted subs, automatic kung sino yung nanonood, makukuha niya kagad. Kasi sa ngayon kasi sir, every kuwari mag-i-stream ako or kahit sino sa amin na may subs na, nangyayari kasi pahirapan kung paano i-claim yung binibigay nung nag-send ng subs. Then eventually hindi siya mapapatong as hindi siya papasok dun sa payout namin kasi hindi siya na-claim eh. So yun yung pinaka gusto ko sanang malaman, na dadating ba kami sa point na ang Facebook ba, or baka may idea kayo kung yung Facebook ba mas lalo pa nilang gagawing komprehensibo yung stream yung para sa mga streamers.
I can speak in behalf of Facebook, of course, because they're a partner, but of course I'm not part of Facebook. However, I feel like what they've created is actually a program that listens. I feel like, because the fact that they have multiple creator workshops, they have CSPs like us. For me, willing naman silang makinig eh. But at the same time, you have multiple parameters and things that are involved kasi when you do something on a developmental level. Of course, technological development, timelines, maraming mga aspect yan na iba't ibang mga angle. So I feel like not just you, but a lot of other Amplify partners have already raised and see that. It's just a matter of really doing it in the proper channel. Kasi like si Facebook naman, gumagawa naman yan ng mga proper channels for feedback, proper channels, and I think they've created the channels of listening and feedback. Hindi lang naman dahil wala lang, 'di ba? I feel like makikinig naman sila. It's just they have a lot of parameters na meron sila, and thus tsaka nila i-apply pag nakita na talagang kailangan, 'di ba? Pero if you look at Facebook gaming today and what it was before, sobrang ibang-iba na rin 'di ba? So I feel like they're gonna get there. It's just that Twitch was just early in the game. Ang aga naman talaga ni Twitch eh. Like Twitch came in what? Mga 2010? 2011 yata. Yung pumasok ng Twitch, Justin TV pa noon. Naalala ko, nag-shoutcast kami dyan. Mga 2011. Facebook Gaming came in mga 2017, 18 lang eh. So, 18 yata. 18, I believe. So in a way, like, it's like where it is in terms of stage versus Twitch is of course different. Pero I'm sure in its own way, advanced din naman siya because it came from a social media platform naman, di ba? So iba-iba lang talaga yung pinanggagalingan nila, pero I'm sure they're looking at that. That's all I can say siguro. Sige, yun na lang siguro. If you have any questions, feel free. I have 7 minutes left. Go lang.
Boss Tryke, last question from me. Is there still a chance na bumuo po ulit si Blacklist International ng team for PUBG community, PUBG Mobile?
I don't want to burst your bubble, pero parang sobrang nahihirapan talaga kami sa format ng PUBG eh. I think the challenging part about PUBG is not the community, not the game, but its schedule. Kasi ang schedule niya, twice a year lang siya nagbibitaw ng tournament. 'Di ba? Like, ang problema kasi diyan, ang cost mo per month, pero ang tournament mo minsan lang. Just to be very transparent kunwari, magbayad ka. Example na lang, magbayad ka ng isang player. Pagpalagay mo na siguro 20k pesos per person. Di ba? Pagpalagay mo na lang 20k pesos per person or 15k pesos per person times 5, magbabayad ka ng coach. Times 4, sorry. Magbabayad ka ng coach, magbabayad ka ng condo, ng facility. Ang dami mong babayaran per month eh. And at the end of the day, I can say that it's a super complicated parang game na mai-sustain mo. Kasi para kang tumataya ng loto. Kasi 2 beses ka lang makakasali, tapos pag hindi ka nakapasok, in a way wala na masyadong tournaments yung mga players. So ako yun yung paminsan challenge talaga. Like ako parang when we want to be in a game, what we always look at is number 1, the publisher. Kasi usually the publisher has the decision making on ano ba yung gagawin nila sa esports ecosystem nila. Number 2, the schedule of the tournaments. Kasi pag consistent yung schedule ng tournaments, then we can fund it. Kasi there are multiple exposures, there are multiple ways na makapag-compete sila. Number 3 is yung, do we have the right team? Di ba? Kung yung right team ba yung pwede nating ma-sign. And then number 4, meron bang enough community yung space na yun? Kasi for example, we're in Legends of Frontera. Hindi naman as popular. Pero ang ganda ng kalendaryo. Tuloy-tuloy. So we want to be able to support that, di ba? So in the end, I think if PUBG improves yung schedule nila of not just twice a year, then maybe. But if talagang ano lang siya, twice a year, then it's a very complicated space to be in for employers like us in a way.
Thank you, Boss Tryke.
Pero ang ganda sana ng PUBG. Like it's a great game, I feel like. Hopefully like mag-improve lang yung esports ano nila. Ecosystem here in Southeast Asia. And I think they will. Let's see.
All right. So if there's no other questions, first of all, we'd like to thank you, Boss Tryke, for your time, for being here with us, also for the community who's here, also for those watching on Facebook right now. Thank you very much for all the comments and also the sports that you are giving out. Boss Tryke, any final words for the community, Comic-Con community, as well as the viewers that we have watching on the live stream?
Okay, so I guess for me, gusto ko lang sabihin din sa lahat na parang a lot of people are really involved in this whole industry already, and hopefully you can really find a way to be able to take care and contribute to the industry kasi syempre in your own ways naman, like it always adds up to everything na ginagawa namin. If you think na parang you can contribute on the back end, then send us an email at careers@tier.1. If you want to be part of the program in Amplify, then kinoment na actually ni Van yung Amplify Academy na parang starting point na pwede yung gawan. And at the same time, if you are part of another company, we don't see anyone, to be honest naman, as a in a way true competitor. Kasi if the JYP, the Big Hit, and the entertainment companies of Korea were able to collaborate with each other to build a bigger industry for the Hallyu wave in a way, why not here, di ba? So kaya kami, we're very supportive of talent managements out there na bukod sa amin, kasi naniniwala naman ako sobrang dami naman talents di ba? Hindi naman natin kailangan mag-agaw-agawan sa mga talents. You can develop your own talent if you were able to sign up some of our talents before, then that's fine, di ba? Kasi kaya nga binubuo namin yung makinarya para mag-build ng talent, para hindi kami masyadong in a way parang territorial about talents, and kami gusto namin yung gusto din kami. Hindi yung parang kung hindi na kami gusto, and then they can find other options too in a way. So parang yun, hopefully we can create a healthier ecosystem here in the industry, and yun, sana magtulungan tayo lahat para mas lumaki pa yung industriya kasi we have a golden opportunity to be able to really push this industry forward. That's it for me. And yun, sa mga nakinig, sana galingan nyo pa. Sa mga gusto mag-stream dyan, huwag kayong susuko. Pero pagka naramdaman nyo na hindi nito para to sa inyo, I mean, may mga iba pa namang mga pwedeng gawin. Pwede kang mag-YouTuber, pwede kang mag-backend, pwede kang marami. Like, I think lahat ng learning na nakuha mo sa ginagawa mo, hindi ka matatalo kasi yung natutunan mo, sa'yo yun lagi. Di ba? Kahit na hindi mo man siya in the end pinurso hanggang dulo. May nakuha at may nakuha ka dun. So yun lang. That's it. Thank you very much. And yun. Sana supportahan nyo rin yung Tier 1 at lahat ng mga ginagawa namin.
Yes, sir. So, well, as a customary for the community talks, syempre, kahit naka-live stream tayo, we often ask for a photo op. So, like, Andy, if you can do the honors. Kasi I think it's effortless sa'yo na mag-smile and take a picture or screenshot.
Okay. But by phone?
Or no, I mean,
okay. Wait.
yeah, screenshot probably.
Okay, wait. All right. 1, 2, 3. Can we have one more? Wait lang. By phone na lang para safe. Baka magalit lahat sa akin pag wala akong kopyang mabigay. Wait lang.
I'll do the same from my end.
All right. Sige. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile, guys. All right.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Once again, thank you very much, boss. Maraming salamat, boss. And yeah, hopefully you have you back next time. And again, thank you. Really appreciate this. It's really empowering, especially the real talk. Those are the things na talagang pag minsan di natin naririnig from some of the talks that we have or people that we often talk to. Real talk, ibang motivation kasi nadadala niyan eh. So again, boss, maraming salamat, Boss Tryke, and also for everyone who joined us also live on Facebook. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.